Hello, everybody! Say hi, Polly.
Hello.
Welcome to Cocktail Hour, the show where everything's made up and the points don't matter. I'm your host, Weebo Jones, and with me tonight is my co-host, Polly, as usual. Say hi, Polly. Again.
Woo-hoo. Hey, Polly.
Do it one
Hey,
more
Polly.
time for the people in the back because they can't hear you.
Hello, Polly.
Are you saying hello to yourself?
Well, you said say hello, Polly. It's an old joke. Come on, who's on first? That kind of thing.
Funny. So, I'm a working woman.
Want. I've been getting I just get so many. Okay, anyway.
Are you okay?
No, my phone's been ringing off the figurative hook all day.
I'm so sorry. That's why we put it on Do Not Disturb for the duration of the entirety of the day.
Well, I mean, I guess I could. I've got it put on mute. That's why you didn't hear none of my ringtones going on. It's just the screen starts flashing. I'm like, what now?
Yeah, see, I am guilty of every once in a while when my phone starts going off, just going, fuck you. Turning it on Do Not Disturb and throwing it behind my back. And that seems to work for me. You know.
Really?
Yeah, it does.
You could hit your poor kitty trying to sleep on your bed, you know.
No, I make sure he's not there.
Okay.
All right, I need to log into Streamlabs. By the way, guys, the links to both of our Streamlabs can be found in the description if you feel so inclined to donate to funds in association with either of the two parties that you see on the screen. Polly's is going to his potato fund, I believe, still, unless there's another fund that I don't know about right now. Is there another fund?
Well, there's my weapons of mass destruction fund, but I've said too much.
Oh. Well then.
Enriched plutonium ain't cheap, my dear.
That's fair. And then my fund is, well, I guess purchasing of a house fund, because that's looking more and more like the option that I'm going to have to go with nowadays. Because I've been weighing the options, you know, of renting versus owning. And it seems extremely likely that owning is the better option as opposed to renting, because then you're not just money sinking. And even if you sell the house in like 5 years, hopefully you sell it in a good enough market to break even. But even if you don't break even, you still make something back is the thing.
Well, you make in theory, you should at least make your equity back. But, you know,
exactly.
The bottom of the real estate market in general could tank. You could have bought a house somewhere near a Chaz Chop and the property values tank. Oh, all sorts of things could have went wrong.
Well, true. There's that. But I don't think that's super likely. Although I have been wrong before, and apparently everyone else has been wrong before. Because no one ever could have expected, in all of their infinite wisdom, that we would be where we are today regarding protests and whatnot.
It was about 2 weeks ago. I overheard a conversation that went like this. Okay, a bunch of people over at my friend's house. There's drinking going on, and this one girl had a few too many, and it hooked up with. Well, I shouldn't say hooked up. Her boyfriend has good money because he's not an engineer, something like that. Some kind of planny architect engineer type position. I forget what it was. I was also drinking at the time. Hence,
he making big money is what you're telling me.
More money than her sorry ass will ever make. Let me put it that way. Anyway, they're talking about, we're going to buy a house. We're going to buy houses. Everyone should buy a house. People who rent are so stupid. They're just throwing money into somebody else's pocket. I mean, all you're doing is helping someone else pay the mortgage on the house that they own. I mean, fuck, why does anyone rent? It's so dumb. And then she was going on and on about this, and in a voice, it was more annoying than the one that I'm mustering, and plus more drunky. Yeah. Anyway, after a few minutes of this, just talking about how stupid everyone is that rents it. Oh my God, we're so smart because we're like looking around buying a house. We're looking in this area and this area and this area. Oh boy. And this this one other girl just kind of gets sick of it and says, "Not everybody has the down payment, bitch." And I was like, "Fuck yeah." That was just nice. I mean, I think there is the critical difference, isn't it? I mean, it's like, okay, yeah, I've got, because she made that point. If you got rent money, it means you got mortgage money. I mean, like, it's like, bitch, you're not even going to be fucking paying for it. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
you're going to pay for like the groceries every now and then kind of situation. And you can tell by who they are. And this is why I don't like, this is why the only time I ever see those two is over at this one girl's place that I was over at where we were all drinking. Because why would I ever want to hang out with somebody who carries on like that? Yeah, you hear me. You know what I'm saying.
Well, yeah, that would be what it is that I save up for, is the down payment on the house and all of the other costs associated with purchasing a house in that capacity. And now I'm trying to get into my Adobe Creative Cloud account so that I can show you this awesome thing that I've been working on all weekend. But it's not letting me.
Chat, she saves her stuff on the cloud.
Well, no, I transferred it to the, you know what, fuck it. I'm just gonna take a screenshot because I have the Adobe Creative Cloud, the whole thing, and I have it saved to my laptop on this one, so I then saved it to the cloud on this one, and I should be able to achieve the access to it over here on this one. Mm-hmm. Following me so far?
I am trying to.
But it's not letting me is the thing. So I'm just going to take a screenshot of it.
Yeah.
Send it.
Becomes right. The Nimbus.
Send it to you and then pull it up. That's what I'm going to name it. I spelled the name wrong. It's fine. Don't worry about it. It's not a big deal. This is so overly complicated. If only I were, tech oriented, this would be so much easier.
It's okay. I feel your pain. The other day I was watching, excuse me. The other day I was talking in Discord and my internet went down, as it does because internet sucks.
It really does.
Not every ISP has very reliable service, right? And it went down and I'm like, oh, I'm just going to go on to my multiple terabytes of external hard drives and watch a movie or a TV show or a documentary or whatever the fuck, because I'm a strong believer in having your own copy. Fuck the cloud.
Fuck the cloud. All right. Yeah, here you go. Here is the hard copy of the thing that I'm working on. It's a tattoo idea I've been working on. It's not completely done yet, but if you... cat girls.
Yeah, and it was horrifying. I saw that. You didn't need to DM me that.
I'm not sorry.
Now I become death.
No. You missed the and over here in this part right here. But yeah, I'm working on my tattoo. My first ever tattoo right here in Photoshop.
Oh, I thought you were pointing somewhere physically at yourself. It's going right here. Where's it going?
I have no idea. I haven't decided where I want to put this bad boy, but it looks cool.
It does. That's some fine font work there.
Thank you. I stole it from the internet.
Well, I didn't. Well, as over the top I go, I have yet to create my own font. Not that I haven't thought of it, but yeah. Mm-hmm. Actually, it was related to one of the noir fonts.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
This is a pretty medieval font that I borrowed from the internet. I can't remember exactly what the name of it was, but this is letters that have been cut out of the original layer that they were on, like copy layered, and then they've been adjusted in size and scale and in like skew so that they fit in the shape that I want them to, which is obviously the profile of a skull. It's not done yet, but it's gonna be pretty cool.
See, when I was looking at it, I'm like, oh, a comic book word balloon. I'm like, oh no, wait a minute, it's a skull.
If I was really like Polly about my photoshopping, I would have found some way to make something over here look like an eyeball, and I could probably still do that with the H, the T, the O, and the F. Maybe. Oh, I could totally do that.
Yeah.
I
mean, considering how well you've done so far, I trust in your ability to continue on with the effort.
Thank you.
I'll tell you what.
a whole bar shift to make because it was so dead last Thursday.
I love it. It took me a whole bar shift. I love it so much.
Just like 8 hours.
Yeah, imagine how my former employer would feel if he knew that he had paid me to do homework through my entire senior year of undergrad. Yeah.
I like working at the bar because I can get stuff done. And I'll be getting stuff done tomorrow when I'm not super busy.
I'll tell you what I won't do. What people do to me all the time, and others as well, and it's really obnoxious. Now, Weebo. Okay, I'm looking at this, and it doesn't really look like a skull. And I know you said you're not finished yet, but it still doesn't look like a skull. Now, what you should have done...
Fuck you.
Yeah, don't you ever have people do that? You'll tell them it's a work in progress, and they start telling you what you should have done. Mm-hmm. It's like, oh, really? Non-creative person who does nothing? What other forceful advice do you have?
Yeah. Yep. And this isn't the only tattoo that I want. Frankly, I want a few others.
Weebs is headed for sleeves.
No, I can't. I don't want sleeves. I want... like, I don't want to just fill up my body with ink. I want to be selective with what it is that I put on my body permanently in that capacity. So what I want is obviously the skull profile tattoo with the "Now I become death, the destroyer of worlds" quote, which is actually not a quote. It's a translation of the, and I, for whatever reason, can never say this correctly, Bhagavad Gita thing, which is Hindu. Thank you, Bhagavad Gita. Oh, I said it right that time. Which is a translation of the Bhagavad Gita by Oppenheimer, who is it's famous because that was what was going through his mind when they tested the first when they ran the first nuclear test for the Manhattan Project. And I feel like it's significant. It's a significant point in human history, and I think it should be remembered. Tattooed on you. I think it should be tattooed on me because it's significant to me too, because it's a constant reminder of the capability of man to destroy itself, which is a lot deeper than I think everyone else thinks about that quote. But I don't know. It's always kind of been in the back of my head, and I'm like, well, I might as well just put that on my body since I can't get rid of it anyway.
Yeah.
It's one of those constant reminder things. And I'm always thinking about. Looks kind of like a side profile of a face with a beak. It's a skull. And then the other things that I want. I would like a dragon, like a tiny little dragon, just kind of wrapped around my ring finger, instead of my boyfriend's actual name. Because you never get someone's name tattooed onto your body unless it's your parents or your children. You never get a significant other's name tattooed on your body. But I can do a dragon ring.
Why is that, Weebo?
Why don't you get your significant other's name tattooed onto you?
Yeah. Why don't you do that? Do you lack commitment?
No, I don't lack commitment.
It sounds like you do.
Not.
Oh, well, then go ahead. Boyfriendo right across your back.
No, because that's tacky. And every poor decision-making slut out there has done that before. And I don't want to be that poor decision-making slut. Thank you very much. Like I said, it's tacky. So I'm doing something classy. I'm going to design my own strip of dragon, and I'm going to just wrap it around my finger. It's going to hurt like a bitch, though. Just Daniel Pullman says, should that saying be inside of a mushroom cloud? I mean, it was one of the stencils, I guess, that I thought about using for the shape that I wanted to go for. But I think I like the skull idea better because it has more of an impact than a mushroom cloud. I don't know. I don't want to tattoo anything that would make me feel childish onto my body. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Like a few of my friends have talked about getting a tattoo of an alien head on their bodies in honor of a friend of ours who was since passed in high school. And I don't want to do that. The idea just doesn't sit right with me. I don't think I would. I think I would end up regretting it more than it would be profound of me to actually do that. Not to mention, I didn't really know the guy as well as everyone else did, so it would be extra of me, I guess. I don't know, attention seeking in some respect, me to do that when I didn't really know the guy as well as everyone else did. What is this?
Well, you were mentioning, how did you put it? Attention-seeking sluts?
Yeah.
Poor decision-making, attention-seeking sluts, I believe
Yes.
it was.
Yes.
So naturally, Nick Cannon came to mind.
Oh?
Yes, he got Mariah tattooed right across his back when
Yeah.
he was married to Mariah Carey, because this was the most important thing he had ever achieved in his life, and the only reason he has any success to speak of, because she set up an entire career for his dumbass, and then they got divorced. So he was forced to cover it up with a giant crucifixion tattoo, which is actually extremely well done.
Oh yeah, I gotta say it.
Like it is like there's some really damn good tattoo artists out there, especially when you make stupid ass decisions like this, you fucking moron. Anyway, I really like this. He's got the dove up here and like the Holy Spirit radiating and everything. Now, if we look at it, like, because he's continued to have this tattoo expanded here, as we can see.
Yeah.
It's spread out across his whole back, and it's just like, wow, look at the artistry in that. That's incredible. And then, forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do. The line from Matthew.
The crucifixion.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
While he was on the cross, that was what he said, right?
Yeah. Well, in different gospels, he says different things, but yeah, you get the point. This is one of the things he says, and it's really, really well done. Now, let's keep in mind, because this is Nick Cannon. I really love making fun of this guy because he's a ridiculous clown and a racist moron who spouts stupidity to impress the people currently sitting in front of him. And right now, he's become Mr. Woke, Black Hotep, brilliant guy. So what has he got tattooed on his back? Well, a giant European-inspired Jesus, of course, with Gothic lettering.
Oh boy.
Translated from the original what? Greek. In your face, Nick Cannon. You did it again. And what's over his back? INRI, King of the Jews, represented from the original Latin that it was written in. In your face, Hotep.
Oof. Yeah, no, I don't think I could do a giant back tattoo.
I mean, if you've got the deep faith, man, that's a big way to write. You ever seen your boy Pat's crucifix tattoo? It's hardcore, man. It's really cool.
I don't think I have. Can someone send me a picture of it? Because I am curious.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, if you got the deep faith, that's a hell of a thing, man. Especially if it's extremely well done, and that's you turned a really bad tattoo, the Mariah one, into a hell of a back tattoo, man.
Oh yeah.
Okay, good. But then you went full woke Hotep about whites and Jews are savages. You realize this guy's a Jew, right?
The irony is strong in this one.
Oh, Nick. Yeah.
I like the idea, though, like, of if you're going to put something permanent on your body, may as well make it something that you've created yourself or you've inspired yourself. So that's why I've been, like, so diligent in the creation of this tattoo, because I'm like, I don't want to just rip something off the internet because that seems lazy to me. I want to, like, put the effort into this because, if it's going to be on my body, I will make sure that I am certain about what is going on my body, not just leave it up to the whims of the artist and the people I'm using for reference. Definitely not. I could not do that. So we're designing our own tattoo, and I think I'm going to do this for every single one that I want on myself. There's a third one, actually, too. The third tattoo. And it also has some super deep meaning. And it is a phoenix. Super symbolic, I know, right? And then, like, the words from the ashes I will rise. But I think I'm going to do the same thing. Instead of a skull, it's going to be a phoenix with those words in something of a similar font. And that will be my back tattoo. No, I'm just kidding. It's going to be partial.
Where's the Darkwing icon going?
Huh?
Where's the Darkwing icon going? Your butt?
It'll probably go like on my arm somewhere, I would think. Or maybe like on the inside of my wrist, like right here.
Yeah. That'd be good. Inside of the forearm, inside of the wrist, or shoulder. All good places for your superhero. Well, icons in general. Yeah.
Oh, there is another one. I almost forgot about this one. This one is a family-inspired tattoo and is literally just a feather. I think it'll be a phoenix feather, but I haven't decided. It might also be a red hawk feather. Reason why is because my grandmother calls all 5 of her grandchildren, myself included, her little Indians, because supposedly we have some sort of Native American blood in us. I don't know. But she does it anyway, and she always has for as long as I can remember. And I think it would be important if I got something to remember her by and to remember my family, because family is very important to me. So that is the last tattoo that I have that I'm certain about.
We should crowdfund Weebo. Here, you like the scientisms.
Uh-huh.
We should crowdfund a 23andMe and a chromosomal genetic analysis.
Do you want to know my heritage, or do you want to know your heritage?
It doesn't. I don't really care either way. Well, what I'm interested in is, one, we'd be able to find out if you're more Native American than Elizabeth Warren, which you could run until the end of until it stopped being funny, which would be the grave. Okay.
Yeah.
And right. And then number 2, like the scientishness aspect of it, why I'd want to crowdfund is because I understand it's expensive. I never stopped to think about how much does that shit even cost. And some people say it's more expensive than you think. I've never looked into it because, I can't.
Like $70, I think.
Is that right? We should crowdfund it for us for more than one, because in science, if you can't replicate the results, it doesn't mean anything.
Wait, so you mean like more than one genetic study from different companies, or more than one from the same company?
You nailed it.
For one person?
No. Well, ideally, I'd like to do 4, where submit 2 to 2 different companies under different names. Because you should never submit it under your own name, because now you shouldn't do that.
Yeah.
Like, just security-wise, you shouldn't do that.
Duh.
But I'm just saying, right? And then we would submit it, and they wouldn't even know. We crowdfunded. Polly and Weebo want to do genetic analysis and blah, blah, blah. And we're going to find out if I actually am wholly from the Northern Isles.
Yeah.
Yeah. Probably not. I mean, who is, right? But
see,
as I understand it, the guy in my family who did all the genealogy, my dad's second cousin or some shit like that, he went all deep into the genealogy, and I was reading it, and it's like, yeah, British Isles entirely, like pretty much like, I'm an island man. Yeah.
That's what I was.
When I was talking to one of my Jamaican friends, they're always into their whole, I'm an island man. I won't pain you with my Jamaican accent, but they're saying island man. I'm an island man. Okay. Mm-hmm. Like, England's not an island. I'm like, have you consulted a map?
See, I've always held back on looking up where it is, or on getting genetic testing done on myself, because the idea kind of, it doesn't sit right with me having my DNA be on file somewhere with somebody. Even if we use a separate name that isn't mine, I would be worried about cloning, perhaps in the future. There's nothing saying that they wouldn't totally go into that at some point in the future, and I just wouldn't want a second one of me running around. The other reason is, of course, I don't like the idea of having my DNA on file with a bunch of randos that I've never met.
Well, okay. Well, hold on. Take heart. It's not a complete genome of you. It's not. They can't clone you off of the,
True.
It's actually a lot simpler than it sounds like what they're doing. They're just comparing patterns to patterns. right? And that's why their tests change, or the results of their tests change over time. And they have, and people have talked about it, and there's videos about it. It's like, well, actually, this genetic marker was more indicated as being of this particular geographic region than this one. And it depends on what time you're talking about, because it's not like human beings popped out of soil, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It's like they're native here. And it's like, really? They grew out of the ground? Like, if you know what I mean?
They came from this specific import in this specific isle on this specific continent at this specific time.
Well, yeah. Like, you see what I mean? There is a dating to it. Like, as you know, as best we can reckon, and then so forth. So those regions will constantly be changing, but that doesn't matter anyway. Like I said, I'm far less interested in my own genetics than I am to see if they give you the same results, especially from the same company. But then also running a close second is across two different companies, because I've got a very strong feeling that they're, you know, it kind of like a horoscope. They're just giving you something. Like, it's vaguely kind of sort of not bad. Yeah. And other than that, you know, there isn't, I wouldn't call it extremely reliable. And I'm willing to bet we could demonstrate that.
Okay. Would you accept it if I did not submit my own DNA, if I like took from my brother's instead? Because theoretically, we have the same exact DNA.
I guess. I have no idea how it could. Well, I don't know. Again, I'm not a geneticist or anything of the sort, but as I understand it, you can glean more through the matriarchal line than you can through the patriarchal. Female results tend to yield different results than male results, I think. I don't know.
I don't know either.
But common sense would say, yeah, no, I wouldn't have a problem with it. I wouldn't care. Like I said, I'm far more interested in the replicability than I am the actual results that we gain. It's like, oh, you've got 5% sub-Saharan African as well as, like, I don't care, as long as the results match, because I'm willing to bet none of these things match, and this is all a giant vanity project for people that are like far more interested in their forebearers than they really should be.
Yeah. Oh, Daniel Fullman in chat suggested something, and I totally kind of want to do it out of curiosity, but he says swab Daphne and see what comes back.
Right. You should swab Daphne and Cole and send them off for some cheap fucking COVID-19 tests and watch it come back that indeterminate, positive, negative, no value, you know.
Not even COVID testing, just genetic testing. See what happens. Like, honestly, what happens? Because if we would probably do it after we cloned my brother, or I'm sorry, submitted his genetic information for testing. See if we got stuff that came back that wasn't quite something that matched up.
Right.
And then we'd submit Cole and Daphne again and see how that came back. And if it came back as something, heckin' yeah, that would be a great YouTube video. I'm down. We can crowdfund that. I'm so down. Let's do it.
Yeah, you could do an exposed video like nobody had ever seen the likes of before.
Heckin' yeah.
Apparently, my dog is 15% sub-Saharan African.
Yes, let's clone the Weebo. You know, he's actually a far superior specimen to clone than myself. He is tall, blonde, blue-eyed. It's easier for him to produce muscle, whereas I'm just short and adorable.
Stop being so hard on yourself.
Yeah, I know. Woe is me. Short and adorable. What
are you painting your nails?
Yeah.
For goodness, Jesus Christ.
It takes so little of my attention to do, so I'm like, I'm gonna do this.
Chat.
I deserve this.
Chat. This is
what?
Did you see that look? Did you see that guilty look on her face? Like the consciousness of guilt when I asked her if she was.
Why would I feel guilty about that? There's no.
I don't know. It was your face.
You asked it in such an accusatory tone. If anything, the only reason I felt guilty was because you were being like, "You painting your nails?" Pointy finger about it, you know.
Yeah, you put up a stream. You want people to listen in. Not even paying attention. Just talking about your tattoos and genetically analyzing your doc.
I am paying attention. We've had a whole ass conversation while I've been doing this, and it took you that long to notice.
No, I saw you doing it before, but what I was thinking is like, nah, she's typing something or she's doing something. She couldn't possibly be so ignorant as to be painting her nails on a stream.
Ignorant. You're not the first person I've painted my nails on stream with. Pale.
Well, it's nice to know you ignore me like the rest. That's
I'm not ignoring you. I can talk to you and paint my nails. It is not the same part of my brain that is getting used to do both. You know that, right? Different areas will light up under an fMRI. Like, if I had the money to just needlessly do that to prove you wrong, I would totally, just to do that.
Do we need to look up how many distracted driving car crashes happen because women are painting their nails or doing their makeup?
I'm not driving a car.
No, but it does yield some information in terms of whether or not you can actually split your attention, as you suggest.
Okay, but those are two different things. Talking and painting your nails uses two different areas of the brain. Talking uses the language center, whereas painting the nails uses the fine motor center. However, driving and doing your makeup are both motor functions.
It has been demonstrated clinically that having a conversation with somebody reduces their effectiveness and reaction time in driving.
Okay. Well, you also have to be paying attention to the road as well, I guess. So that's less motor functioning, but still, this is not going to result here. This is not going to result in a crash.
She's working to explain it away, chat. Come on, throw some money at her. She's working hard over here.
I am working hard. Working so hard. It's so difficult because Polly's so annoying.
Annoying is her word for it. Challenged. Weebo feels challenged.
Challenging. He's so challenging. There we go. That's a good word. I'll that one.
If you mean intellectually challenging, yes. If you mean exhausting, I take issue with that.
No, not exhausting, because I'm not tired yet. Or I was already tired, and you had nothing to do with it. I did not sleep well last night, and I had very little to do with being excited about my first day of work.
Uh-huh.
It had to do with the fact that I just couldn't fall asleep, couldn't get comfortable, couldn't stop thinking about the fact that I had to go to the bathroom, and I was just like, no, I will not get up from this bed. I will not pee. I will not do it. And then I did it. And then I went to bed. So don't fight your body, kids. Your body knows best. If you need to pee, go pee. Pro tip for all the youngins out there who are ignorant on the world. It's not as bad as Quiz painting his mimes, Polydub. Yeah, doesn't Quiz paint while you guys stream comic book curation?
Have you listened to Quiz's involvement in comic book curation?
It's like lacking.
It goes like this. Yeah. Uh-huh. Right.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, something will catch his attention, and he'll be, wait a minute, and you can almost hear the brush being put down as he goes off into a rant about something that pissed him off. It's
naturally, but I'm actually having a conversation with you, and it's not just yep, yeah, right, cool. I'm actually having a conversation with you, Polly. And women are better at multitasking than men are. I believe that has also been proven. I don't have the study for it, but take my word for it just because.
Yeah, I guess us men will just have to deal with the advantage in spatial relations and conceptual thinking and overall intelligence level. It's a cross we have to bear, gentlemen, but I'm willing to bear it with you.
Fuck off. Fuck yourself.
Oh, hey, Eve's here. Hey, Eve, how's it going?
Ooh. Thank you, Quinn the Cultist, for the super sticker. For whatever reason, StreamYards does not do the thing with the stuff. You know the thing with the stuff, Polly. The thing with the stuff that involves displaying the sticker. It's a nope sticker. Okay. See, I didn't realize that.
Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, I do see what you mean. I did not realize that. Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah. And it's completely different color, too. Like, it's red over here, but it's blue over at the stream. YouTube, StreamYards. What up, boy?
How long? Okay, you know what? I'm curious. I've never actually had an answer to this.
Okay.
How long does it take for your nails to dry? Like I realize there's wet, then tacky, and then soft, and then actually like when are you willing to like
dry?
Yeah, like dry.
Like, okay, there are two types of dry. There is it's no longer wet dry, and then there is the dry that will not move if you knock it against something in such a way that it will shift around.
Yeah, that dry.
So different nail polishes have different levels or different times that they set correctly at. The high functioning OPI brand of nail polish, the OPI stuff, it's nail lacquer, sorry. But that typically takes around 2 hours to fully harden. And anything else can be either lesser or greater, but OPI is typically like your industry standard in terms of beauticians. They always have it in the nail salons, so that's what I'm going to go off of. It takes about 2 hours to fully harden. Sometimes it can be less, sometimes it can be more. Now, it's different if you let the coats harden individually, or it differs depending on how many coats you use, and what kind of top coat that you use. Because I noticed that the OPIs definitely take a lot longer than if I were to use a quick drying nail polish, which definitely sets a little bit quicker because, hence the name. Of course, the drawbacks with that is that they chip easier, and so you have to touch up more frequently. Ah, fuck. I fucked up my nail. It's okay. I fix it. You're coming with me, Polly.
All right.
Enjoy a field trip, gentlemen. Never mind, I can't go very far. Oh, motherfucker. Shit. I like to paint my nails. It is soothing and calming and all of the fun things.
Daniel Fulman asked, Polly, have you painted any historical minis lately?
I'm back.
Okay, it's a long story. The TLDR version of it is I got really frustrated with mini painting because I was having difficulty with washes, which are a certain type of paint. I won't drag you guys who don't care about this stuff through the distinctions. There's there's paints and there's washes and then there's undercoats and then clear coats and blah, blah, blah. I was having some real difficulty with washes, and it had been bevexing me for quite some time. And so I ended up stepping away for a minute. But I have some tests that I want to go back to and I'm getting back to it. I cut out some new minis out of their sprues, glued them together, and I'm going to try some new experiments to see if I can make it work. So Weebo.
Polly. Hang on. Hold that thought, because I gotta address the super chat. When is Thought Patrol head? Get chat on your side, Polly. So to address the first thing, I have a tentative date that they will be available. Whether or not it's sooner is totally up to how it is that I adapt to my work schedule. But September 7th is the tentative release date of the Thought Patrol hat, because that'll be the tentative date of release of the next Thought Patrol. But that, like I said, depends on how soon I can get it out. So at the latest, that'll be the date. But it could be sooner. And I'm hoping that it will be.
Fair enough.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, so, Polly, you wanted to address something?
Right. 2 days ago, I sent out a tweet that is one of the most engaging, literally, tweets that I've ever sent out. Some 1,800 unique impressions, 51 likes, multiple retweets, comments, etc. Okay. I'm not somebody who's so into, oh my God, my tweet went viral, because this didn't go viral. It went like hyper micro viral for the small group of people that I talk to and stuff. But it grabbed my attention that it grabbed other people's attention. See, I thought I was just randomly musing on Twitter. It reads as follows. So I just watched The Devil's Advocate. I just watched The Devil's Advocate from 1997. I realized a few things. 1, late 90s men's suits were awesome. 2, skinny suits of today suck. 3, double-breasted suits need a comeback. 4, long overcoats are badass. 5, skinny suits of today suck. That is all.
That is all.
That is all.
I do believe I've seen this, and yeah, your engagement is pretty decent for, you know.
For me, yeah, because
For
I don't
you.
tweet that much. So yeah, people it's just they're not looking for me to be saying clever things because I just don't tweet that much. But it made me realize that I wasn't the only one who thinks this way, because like I'm sitting there watching that movie, and yeah, I've seen it before, but I was just watching it again because I hadn't seen it in a while. And Brad Young said, I saw that tweet. You're right, Polly. And a lot of people were just like, yeah, no shit. And then there's some people like, we need an otter in a 90s suit. And like, is Noir Bar going to visit the 90s, which was an interesting idea, and other things like that. But the majority of people were just like, yeah, fuck yeah. Okay. Can we all just agree that fashion needs to move on? And by move on, like I've heard over and over again that fashion is cyclical. Can we get a quick cycle? Like back to, like, I'm not talking like horribly bad wide shoulder pads of the late 80s and early 90s, as I am taking from movies was the style at the time. Like that, I'm not saying baggy suits. I'm saying suits that allow you some movement, because I've gone and bought suits in the past number of years. Well, it's like, oh, I need a new jacket to go with these pants, or what have you. And I told you the infamous story of the dick pants.
Yes, you did.
Right. Now. And that was a result of modern skinny suits, right? It's like, not only do they not have pleats, and I'm okay with unpleated pants. I think the single pleat that lines up with the front crease is timeless, in my opinion. But these were counter pleated. They were actually in cut to allow less room, hence what led them to being the dick pants. In any case,
sorry. Carry on. Proceed.
Like, and just let's talk about the overcoats for a second. I have wanted the hooded cloak to come back into fashion for some time. It's been a couple 300 years at this point. I just don't think it's going to happen anytime soon.
Polly, what you also have to understand about fashion that is, while it is cyclical, it's cyclical in a transformative way. So styles come and go in a cyclical way, but they are adapted for a more contemporary people. Therefore, the hooded cloak that you wish so desperately to come back has in fact come back. It's come back in the style of the gigantic hoodie.
No, which explains why I have a wealth of hoodies in my closet, because I like the general style of it. But it's come back in a different way, Weebo. I noticed this, and I had this thought watching The Devil's Advocate. Long overcoats that have like a wealth of material to them, and I'm not talking baggy. They've just got there's a certain roominess to them, some movability where one isn't restrained by one's clothing, right? And they go down absolutely below the knee. And I'm not talking quite scraping on the ground, but they're long. Awesome. And they don't taper at the waist, because that's so feminine. And if you're a woman, that's fine. If you identify as a woman or whatever the hell, that's fine. But why would a man want something that tapers at the waist? It's just weird.
Maybe he's got one of them slim waists. We don't know. It's possible.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so see, now let me show you something. I wanting to find some, Weebo. You're going to need to pay attention to the screen and not your nails for a moment, and realize that I'm sharing my screen.
I'm paying attention.
As you'll see, I typed in on DuckDuckGo here, The Devil's Advocate, and Devil Advocate, I mistyped, whatever. It didn't make a difference, because I typed in Devil's Advocate screenshots, Devil Advocate wardrobe, Devil's Advocate suits, and this is under Devil's Advocate suits, and look at all the crap that comes up. These are just, and it serves my point equally as well, because the opposite of these things is what I'm saying. And it's not so much the fabric or the color or anything, it's the cut. Let us focus on the cut. Not everybody is a tiny 90-pound soy beta male. Like, look at every one of these models. They're
tiny boys.
Yeah, and look at this guy. Oh yeah, I'm just cooling with my neck tattoo. And look, if my suit got any tighter, I'd have difficulty breathing, but it's okay.
Hit wooden button.
Like, see, like the buttons, like this man is not fat. This guy has like less than like 0.5% body fat, and the button is still holding on for dear life.
I have this exact problem when it is that I try on clothes that are too small for me. And if I'm having this problem, guys most certainly should not be having this problem.
Let me tell you, this was also, oh, look, it's the same model with his fancy neck tattoos. This was also indicative of the dick pants.
Yeah.
Look at this guy struggling to put his hands in his pockets. Gentlemen, if you can't put your hands in your pockets, there is a good sign of how much loose material I'm talking about. I'm not talking about baggy. I've seen films from like Deep Cover with Fishburne and Lawrence Fishburne and
clappity clap clap. You got this.
That was snapping, actually. The doctor from you crazy son of a bitch, you did it. You actually did it, from Jurassic Park. What's his name? He was also he was also the quirky doctor from Independence Day. He was also in The Fly 2. He was the guy turned into a fly.
Jeff Goldblum.
Jeff Goldblum. Thank you. Underrated movie, if you haven't seen it, with Jeff Goldblum and Lawrence Fishburne. It's called Deep Cover, and it's from like 1990 or 91 or whatever. Oh my God, the suits they're wearing, way too much fabric, man. You could fit 2 Jeff Goldblums in one of his suits. And that's not what I'm saying. You know, and the single button that is over the belt buckle, it's that low. That's not what I'm talking about. But this guy can't even get his fucking hands in his pockets without like his zipper again saying, "No, I'm about to snap." Like it. See, this guy, if he had a bulge, would have dick pants. But you know, poor bastard has no bulge.
Yeah, he only had a bulge.
Yeah, this guy's wearing a fake beard and is tucking, clearly. Anyway.
Clearly. I cannot be super comfortable. Like, I don't even like wearing tight clothing, and I am female.
This guy couldn't button this jacket if he wanted to. See, what I'm talking about is the cut. And I said the double-breasted should make a comeback. Not like this, it shouldn't. Holy shit. What a sin against fabric.
I love that you're so passionate about this, because literally no one else I've ever met in real life has ever been this passionate about clothes, except for maybe with the exception of Magnus Pater, my old roommate, and Balik, my best friend from college.
I like a slick suit. I like a suit with a little bit of flash, a little bit of panache. It's got a little bit of gangsta edge to it, if you will. Like, and I mean like Italian mobster, not LA drive-by.
No,
you know, it's got you know, nice splash of color where you're matching tie and pocket corner. You know, cool.
Naturally,
cool. Yeah. This has none of those things I just described. For God's sake, man, look how much ankle you're showing. If you were to sit down, those cuffs would shoot up to your knees.
What's wrong with showing off ankle, Polly? What is this, the 1800s?
No, what it is that these are not supposed to be capris, but have become them through bad fashion choices.
I'm dying here. Lion Patriot donated to say, "How about a birthday song from Mama Eve's mama? Is it Eve? Is it your mama's birthday? Is that the case? Is she even watching us?" Another question I have. Is that what's going on? Eve, let me know in the chat. But yes, I agree 100%. What the fuck? I can't answer right now. I'm busy streaming.
Wow. And you talked about my phone and you didn't have the professionalism to put it on silent. Ouch.
I didn't anticipate anyone actually coming and calling me, but you know, I actually feel bad because it's our boyfriend though, and he doesn't ever call me, so like I'm wondering. All right, give me 1 sec.
All right, I will talk to Chad in the meantime. Chaos is note to self: buy a cloak for the winter. Eve, I fully endorse this decision. If you need any help in selecting color or style, you let me know. We need to bring back the balaclava. I think ISIS is a little bit ahead of you. It's all the rage in their internet videos. And she mutes herself, so we don't even get to listen in. Okay, let's say mean things about her. Yeah, tell him we said howdy by all means. I got to see Air Force One take off today. I was pretty fucking awesome. Really? I've seen Air Force One land when it was president was coming to a town I was in where he was making a speech, which is ironic because usually I'm not that far away from it anyway, but whatever. Oh, look at that. Thank you, Lion Patriot. This question is for all. Do you call them pancakes, hotcakes, flapjacks, or something else? Well, I'll wait till thank you very much, Lion Patriot. That's a good question. I'll wait till Weebs gets back because I want to throw in a couple of other extra options, but that's a good one. And
I'm back.
Oh, Weebs is back. And really quick, next 6 minutes.
I had to make kissy faces at the phone. You probably.
I appreciate that you didn't leave your man waiting. That you didn't put him on like second tier priority for a bunch of anonymous randos on the internet. That's good. That's good.
Mm-hmm. Well, he's going to give me babies at some point in the future, so I gotta at least give him that courtesy of priority.
No, I fully agree. It's a good way to be. Next 6 minutes. Thank you very much for the donation. All the good vibes to you who do that art. Artistic pursuits are deserving that way. Sub to this otter and throw him a few bucks so he can gain that new potato. Or if he chooses unwisely to chew Jolly Ranchers again, I will not be chewing Jolly Ranchers again. That's what caused my last dental difficulty. And he can get a new filling. Check DMs. All right, I will. No problem. Thank you again. Next 6 minutes. So, Weebo, whilst you were away.
I also received a Streamlabs from 60, so I got to read that off too.
Sure.
And it's going to be long because he likes to just fill it up. Thank you. The next 6 minutes for the donation. Congrats, you job having woman. You got this, Weebs. Add this to your coffee fund. Coffee's fundamental. Harness the coffee. Let it fuel your engines. Harness your chi. Sub to this awesome girl and buy her sweet merch. Awesome high fives, Weebs. Yes, high fives. Thank you for the next 6 minutes. I do appreciate that. Okay, so while I was gone and making kissy faces at my man, what else? What was going on?
Lion Patriot asks, general question for all. Do you call them pancakes, hotcakes, flapjacks, or something else?
I call them waffles because I like waffles and they're crunchier.
Okay.
Is that a sin?
No, what we have here is a failure to communicate. It is.
If I were to eat a pancake, what would I call
Yes. If you would just call them pancakes. Yeah, I call them pancakes. The only time I ever call them hotcakes is when I'm referencing McDonald's hotcakes. Weebo, do you know what a hoe cake is?
What's a hoe cake? I'm fascinated. I want to know this.
It's outside of urban slang, a hoe cake is they're pancakes made with cornmeal.
What?
They're pancakes made with cornmeal.
Is there a taste difference or?
Oh yeah, and a texture difference.
Is it more?
Yeah, Johnny Cakes. Johnny Cakes is another name they go by. Alpha Omega's dead on. Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
You should try them. Have you had cornbread?
Oh yeah.
Do you like it?
I do.
Then you should really give oatcakes a shot, or Johnny Cakes.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you know the difference between like regular bread and cornbread, like the texture difference and the kind of taste difference, that some of the similarities transfer over in terms of Johnny Cakes.
You know what I do with cornbread that no one else that I've ever come across actually does with cornbread? Maybe 1 in 1,000 people do this. But I actually put corn in my cornbread.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah, I just take sweet corn from the can and I dump it in the mixture and then I bake it in the oven and it's like actual cornbread. Because for the longest time, I couldn't understand why people wouldn't do that. And it makes it a little bit more moist and very good. And it kind of gives it like a texture kerfuffle, but in a good way. And yeah, no one else does that. And whenever I say this is what I do with cornbread, I get the weirdest looks, but it's so good.
I'd give it a shot. I love cornbread so much. I'd definitely give it a shot.
Jalapeno honey cornbread. It's good. It's great. It's a good time. I don't understand why not everyone does it. I don't understand why for the longest time, like I was having cornless cornbread. It's a disgrace. Cornbread should have corn in it. Full stop. And that's been Cooking with Weebo. You're welcome. I just improved your lives. You know what else I did?
Yeah.
I extended your life because I gave you vegetable options.
Has been made better. I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting little factoid about Johnny cakes.
Ooh.
Hoe cakes were one of George Washington's favorite dishes, if not his very favorite.
You would know that, wouldn't you?
Mm-hmm. He with honey, interestingly.
Ooh.
Yeah, not syrup, but honey. But the man liked anything that was soft because of his, lack of teeth.
Yeah.
Yeah. So eating with the really bad dentures at the time was no doubt quite painful. So
I bet.
Yeah.
You ever Polly, have you ever had your wisdom teeth forcibly removed from your face hole?
Yes.
Yeah.
But I was not conscious at the time.
Well, even afterwards.
Yes.
Rawness.
It was very painful.
The rawness in eating was just not a good time. And that's the closest I've ever had to not a full set. And had to chew things with such a raw mouth. It's not a fun time. So I can understand completely him coming from that position.
Yeah.
100%. Mm-hmm. Apparently, it's not as uncommon as I thought it was because Eve is questioning why or if everyone doesn't do that with the cornbread. It's good. It's good shit, man. It's good.
I remember listening to Eve one time on Discord, and she was at some takeout joint or some restaurant where she was getting some takeout, and she asked if they had real iced tea, and it was in the South, so it was a very Southern conversation, so I enjoyed it thoroughly.
Yeah.
It was she's like, yeah, is it real iced tea? And the girl went like, yeah. And it's like, what do you mean by real? It's like, well, I was at this place and they gave me regular brewed iced tea and 4 packets of sugar. And the girl was like, oh no, you simply cannot do that. It's just, and they went back and forth and they had this exceptionally Southern conversation. It was really hilarious.
Mm-hmm. Oh gosh, I remember living with Balik. So he just started grad school this week for underwater archaeology. So kudos to that boy, go him. And he moved into his new place and I had the address. So I sent him a whole care package of shit. I sent him some insulting coasters, the coasters that are basically put a fucking coaster under me, you asshole. Don't leave a ring on me or shit. I don't know.
Insulting coasters.
Yeah, insulting coasters.
Right.
In addition to
I've never heard of this, but I approve.
Yes. Coasters that are essentially don't you fucking leave a ring on this furniture, bitch. Anyway, some stuff along those lines. They were all very different. He got a kick out of them. In addition to that, I sent him a 94 pack of Lipton iced tea, black tea bags so that he can make all of his sweet tea. And I sent him a miniature toolkit because he can no longer borrow mine whenever he wants because he doesn't have one and he needs one desperately, especially when he's fixing his shit or whatever. Anyway, so I sent him the care package and I sent him specifically, originally it was just going to be the tea because he loves that shit. He makes gallons of iced tea a week. And there's a cup of sugar involved in this process. There's a whole brewing process. There's ice involved. It's very complicated and it takes time. And he's very religious about this particular habit that he has. And it was such a staple of living with him that I'm all right, I got to get this boy some iced tea. But this boy is from Indiana, central Indiana.
Mm.
That's pretty far north considering it's a southern thing, this iced tea habit,
The habit is, yes. Turning it into a quasi-religious article of faith that this is the only way it should be made, that's the southern characteristic.
Mm-hmm.
Because I make proper Yankee tea. So I brew it Cold brew it, mind you. Cold brew it. Extremely strong. So I did a giant beer pitcher that I absconded from a bar with. I was drunk, whatever.
Absconded. It's a fancy way of saying you stole it.
No, if I wanted to get fancy, I'd say I inappropriately reassigned its ownership.
I procured it nefariously.
Yes, and Eve is saying cold brew. See, this is the statement of blasphemy, right? So yeah, I cold brew it in that giant pitcher, put 7 bags of black tea in there, and just let it brew out overnight, and then add a whole bunch of lemon to it, and it's done. You pour it over ice, man. It's just tea and lemon and water. That's it. Sole ingredients. Proper Yankee tea.
I think at least you have had this conversation on a show that I have been. There is an actual supercut of a professional stream where you and SDA are going off about the proper way to brew tea, and you're talking about the Yankee tea, and she's going off about the Southern tea, and it's very different. And the point of contention had to do with if it's supposed to be hot brewed or cold brewed tea. I had no stake in this, but it was the funniest conversation I had the pleasure to be a party to. It's still not
Zombie Teddy brings up sun tea. That is very good as well. Yeah, it is. You just let it brew sitting in the sun. It's very good. But it's, for me, it's like I stick it in the fridge. It's like lazy man's way of doing it. But this whole idea of heating up tea and just you're adding sugar to tea. Yeah. No. It needs it needs to be really strong, got that nice little edge of bitterness to it, and that good lemon tart. And that's the way it should be, as God intended it.
I prefer my tea to be warm, or to be hot, at least. It needs to be like steaming. And if it's hot, I don't care how it is. If it's got lemon, if it's got honey, if it's got cream or whatever, sugar, I don't care so long as it's hot. The moment it starts to get a little bit chilly is the moment I get super picky about it. Then that's like my problem.
I mean, see, here's the thing. I joke about the proper thing because I think this is just the way I enjoy my tea. Whereas Southerners like, no, there's only one true faith. Like it's kind of weird.
Someone, hang on, oh no. I'm glad I clicked the link before I shared it with the rest of the class. Alpha and Omega donated $10 to say over on the Streamlabs, don't read this out first. Take a look and see if you want to share with the chat. I'm so glad that I listened to what it was. He sent me a link. To
facialabuse.com. No.
You'd be upset by this, I'm pretty sure. The title of the video is Stirred Episode 3, Otter Rape.
My God.
Video. I can't believe this is something that's live on YouTube with a title like that. I think not. It's educational, I think. It's labeled as... I actually can't tell. Aren't these things supposed to say the thing? I'm pretty sure. Don't YouTube videos say if they're like educational or for entertainment or for comedy purposes? But this one doesn't. What's up? Huh. Oh, maybe it's because I don't have everything expanded. This is posted in 2017, Polly.
Yeah, I am.
You want me to send this to you?
Look, they've been propagandizing against otters for a long time. I have no faith in their CGI fuckery fests. It's just no. You want to see something that's equally as disturbing? Here, look at this.
Oh, yes, I would love to.
Look at this. Okay, hold on. 2 things.
Is that a fur coat over a plaid?
Yeah, let's so much worry about the fabric. Again, the cut. This man's pants are so tight you can actually see the curve of his thighs, his knees, and his calves. How the hell they've got to have zippers? How did you get in these things? Look at this guy.
It's stretch fabric. It's stretch fabric to fit. That's why. That's how it is.
It doesn't stretch very much. Look at this poor bastard trying to get his hand in his pocket. He can't even get past the knuckles. He's got fingers in that pants slit. You can't even call them pockets. Like fucking hell.
Well, I could make a very inappropriate comment at this time, but I think I will not. There's a reason men are looking for some tight ass jeans. It seems.
They're trying to show off their bulge.
Nope.
They're gay.
No.
I
They can't seem to get much tightness from a woman these days.
Wow.
I said it.
Wow.
Oh God. Are you so severe on your own sex? Yes, I fucking am. Have you met women? Did you see that music video? We were talking about it slightly last show. The WAP music video.
Sure.
And how what's his face? Not Ben Stiller, fucking Ben Shapiro. Ben Shapiro would make a killing on YouTube if he exclusively just read off inappropriate lyrics with that monotone or like just his way of talking, and how this is totally like a niche market that you could totally delve into and make a killing on anyway, even if you weren't Ben Shapiro. Well, I actually watched the music video itself, lyrics, beat, and all, both the explicit version and the non-explicit version. And honestly, I don't understand what the big hype was about. It's an inappropriate song. Oh my gosh, those have never been heard before. Did no one else live through I'm Sexy and I Know It? Like, I was there. I remember that song.
Okay. Sargon of Akkad, of all people, did a video about that video. It just came out yesterday because his was your take on it. What's the big deal? There have been salacious songs before. Who cares? And I've been hearing about this for days. What's the point? So like he kind of watches the video and just does like it's a short little video where he's just sort of talking about it, and then he gets it. It's not that it's salacious. It's just that it's particularly outrageous. It's how ridiculously base it is. Not based, but base. It is.
Like common denominator.
Like unbelievably lowbrow, where it's like, why are you willing to say these things about yourself? Like there's statues of tits with water squirting out of the nipples, and there's crotch statues squirting, and there's statues of big asses throughout this whole in the video in the building that they're walking through, and it's ugly as sin, the video to look at, like the clashing color schemes and everything. It's everything about it is just like beyond lowest common denominator. It's subterranean denominator.
And it's not it's just new content is what I'm getting at. Is
I guess not, but it's like the idea being is like, okay, there's Megan Thee Stallion is known for doing material like that, and Cardi B is known for doing material like that, and the two of them get together and they created like the singularity of hoe. The
singularity of hoe.
It's so low down. And why did it generate talk? Partially because of Ben Shapiro, partially because of other things. Like, you know, it's difficult to explain why something it became a meme. That's why people are paying attention to it. It would be like asking, why does any meme become a meme? Who's to say? Difficult to describe.
I appreciate the meme aspect of the hype surrounding it, obviously, because there are plenty of things to meme about it. I could not like stop in my head just coming up with just some really spicy takes and whatnot. But the added hype around not even hype, but the added shenanigans surrounding the actual song itself, I just couldn't like fathom at all. For example, the one segment where Kylie Jenner is just walking down the hall looking like she's ready to just drop some hot fire, and then no, it's just a transition into the next scene. That was it.
Yeah.
That was
well.
That was something memeable, definitely.
It's also it's Me Too and so forth. So a whole bunch of people, like a whole bunch of so-called leftists, you know, blue check marks on Twitter that always have a problem with everything. They're like, you know, it's like, oh, Ben Shapiro's got a problem with wet ass pussy. That's because he's been drying up all the pussies for years, and like they're coming at him like that, and it which is kind of funny. And it's
Ben Shapiro.
Well, yeah, I mean that's what was funny is that he goddamn well gets it, right? He's this small little guy, and he's got, with his stern little voice, his stern little high-pitched voice, and reading those lyrics up, that's the comedy, is the incongruity of it, right?
Yeah.
That's what,
him reading those lyrics in that way and just
right. It would be like if you had like
time.
if you had like Kenneth Branagh, trained legendary Shakespearean actor, reading those lyrics, the incongruity of it would be bizarre.
Or like what's his face? The guy with the really high squeaky voice like this reading 50 Shades of Grey. Have you seen that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forget the guy's name, but yeah, him.
But
he played the bird named Iago, and Kenneth Branagh in the film with Lawrence Fishburne played Iago. Huh. See, we brought it all back around. 6 points separation. See?
And that's a wrap, guys. Can't get better than this.
It's not going to get more connected than that. No, it's just so you have a whole bunch, the hilarity of it, and why Sargon bothered to make a video about it, just because what's the hype, and you wanted to see it because a whole bunch of people are saying this is empowerment. This is what empowerment looks like. And he's like, you couldn't possibly be more disempowered. There's literally segmented, broken up female body parts all over this video. There's asses on walls, no other body part but like ass cheeks and thighs.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right. And like statues of them. Right. And then headless statues of giant titties that are squirting water. And then like it just goes on. And the lyrics are all, I don't cook or clean, but I still got this ring, like it, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah. And it's like, I don't need to do anything more than be a good fuck, and every man wants me. But yet a whole bunch of people on Twitter were like, this is female empowerment, this is claimed sexuality, this is women being comfortable in their bodies, this is body positivity because they're big old butts and so forth. And you guys are working real hard. Like you're taking something that's produced exclusively for shock value to put eyes on it. And Megan Thee Stallion, so cool, Megan Thee Stallion, a former escort, and Cardi B, another former escort, which are polite ways of calling them whores. Literally, don't believe me, look it up. Who are now rappers, and it's like, yeah, right, sure they are. They got them real intense, deeply laid lyrics that I'm sure they spent just days crafting.
Well, I made a video about this, but isn't Cardi B also the bitch that would roofie gentlemen and then steal from them? Yeah.
And that was supposed to be, well, isn't that part of hashtag Me Too? And then people got on it and said, no. It was like
empowered because he was actually a sex worker and that's the victim, and therefore she was just taking back the power from her.
Yeah. And women have had that done to them forever, and men never had a problem with it. And it's interesting how quickly your principles abandon you. It's almost like they're just arguments of convenience and not principles at all.
Is sex work empowering or is it disempowering? You can't have both your cake and eat it too. Like, I'm sorry, that's not how that works.
Oh, thank you, Alpha Omega, for the $10 donation. Very generous. Much appreciated. I assure you. Well, hold on. Let me read this first.
Okay. Yes. No, it's fine. Gilbert Godfrey, by the way. That was who it was that I was trying to quote.
Gilbert Godfrey. Alpha Omega says, I assure you, I am pro otter. I found some otter propaganda and wanted to bring it to light. Well, thank you. Always, there's some angry people out there. The whiskers, the cute things they do with their hands, the way they crack clamshells. Some people just can't handle the adorableness, so they got to come up with dumb shit. What are you doing with your face?
Totally what's going on. I'm trying to stifle a yawn.
Yeah.
I'm getting old, Polly. My pumpkin days are moving up and up and up.
Yeah, maybe Cosby should become a rapper, right? I mean, it's like
blind, and
she's like Cardi B. If you've ever listened to her talk, like every third tweet starts off with dead ass. I mean, she is the definition of scandalous. Like, just no. I no interest. No, her last video was literally her in a sundress, bent over, shaking her ass and sticking her tongue out. The full 4 minutes of the video, it's just did air quotes, and it's not even an original beat. It's fucking Boys in the Hood, Eazy-E from back in the day, and it's just her bent over, shaking her ass and sticking her tongue out. You should go watch it. It's like, Jesus Christ, that's all you got, and that's all you are. It's like, well, it doesn't matter because this is like Belle Delphine. It's just that's all they come down to. And for some reason, there's simp. Like, I mean, this is why the word simp is so popular. Take a lesson. Because there's people out there that are willing to give up money when you can go see a hell of a lot more and a hell of a lot. Go fucking befriend a cam girl. Throw your money at her. She's actually willing to do things to call you out by your actual name. She knows who you are.
Mm-hmm.
Like your on-screen handle, whatever.
Yeah. And then she might just look you up on LinkedIn and then find out what you do for a living, who you're married to.
Yeah, well, don't use your actual name. And when you send her money, don't use your fucking Jesus Christ.
I'm about to start a war on Twitter.
Who was it that Eve was telling me about and the amount of followers? Oh, that this trans person that Eve doesn't think wants to identify as female, but I totally do. But Eve is on the fence now. She hasn't decided. But anyway, this trans person has all these followers on Twitter, this mass amount of followers and this mass amount of subscribers. And it's a hell of a lot more than fucking Invader V, the girl that you were referencing that was looking people up on LinkedIn to possibly blackmail them or something. It was weird. I just like the idea that person has more Twitter subs and followers, Twitch subs and followers than that person. Than Invader V. Anything that causes Invader V to actually have to go get a real job is a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Less of Invader V I see on the internet, the better I think that I'll be. So Polly, you want to see what my earth-shattering hot take was that's going to start a war?
Yeah, actually.
Okay. Get ready for this.
I'm ready. Hold on, I can't read that. It's too small on my small screen. What does it say?
Vizzy Seltzer is the superior hard seltzer to White Claw. Full stop. I stand by this.
Are you looking for a sponsor?
Vizzy, sponsor me. No, seriously, it is better. The Claw is not the law, ladies and gentlemen. It's piss water compared to Vizzy. No, I just wanted. I felt the need to be antagonistic, and that's about as antagonistic as I want to be right now. I just do not have the energy to like Mundane Matt and be like, "Hey, Mundane Matt, remember when you had the Boulder excuse or whatever?" I don't even remember. No. Here, more topical. I don't have the heart nor the energy to Ethan Ralph and be like, "You released revenge porn onto the internet, sir. How disgusting. How disgraceful. I saw you gunt."
It's a gunt.
It is quite a gunt.
Whew.
You've seen it?
The porn video? Fuck no.
I had the misfortune of happening upon it while I was looking for information.
I was warned.
See, my natural curiosity gets me into trouble at times, and I often regret it. But then, I am also informed upon the issues, like a good human should be, like a good civil servant.
Wait a minute.
What?
Why can't it be civic servant? I mean, it's not common, but
can it be? Is that correct? Like, I don't know. Words are your thing, man.
It seems like it should be able to.
Man, I just work here. I don't know.
Words are your thing. I just live here. Okay.
Yeah. There you go. It took 4 people to write "Wet ass pussy." Are you serious?
Yeah, I love that so much. I mean, see, there's another thing you guys got to realize, or come to terms with to grasp the full hilarity of the situation. Those women don't dress themselves. They don't do their own makeup. They don't write their own lyrics. They certainly don't make their own fucking beats. They show up and say, "Oh, I got this wet ass pussy, and then girls want me," and
Wait, Polly, you're telling me that you voluntarily watched WAP? Was it the explicit version or not the non?
Explicit.
Okay, so you voluntarily watched WAP, the explicit version, and you saw that train wreck happen before your eyes, but you did not go out of your way to witness Ethan Ralph's downfall.
Okay. why I listened to it is I wanted to see two grown women actually dancing enthusiastically in front of in a video where the beat is literally just a guy saying, "There's some holes in this house. There's some holes in this house. There's some holes in this house." I was like, really?
Are you sure it was holes and not whores? Because I heard whores.
I did say horse.
Oh, I thought you said holes. I'm like, that's no way to talk about women. Like, it is, but it works.
Jeez, I mean, it is, but you shouldn't do it. So
I wouldn't recommend that you do that. It might be
well, I mean, it's tough to discern which is more insulting. My God.
Holes or whores. I would say holes.
Funny story. I was over at my ex-girlfriend's place one time, and I was trying to remember the name of an actress, Julia Roberts. And I was like, you know, the redhead. She was the whore in Pretty Woman. Jaw dropped. Like, it was just her mom. Her dad wasn't there. Her mom's jaw dropped. And she says, "The whore?" And I was like, "Well, she was."
Yeah.
And she said, "But you didn't have to say it that way, did you?"
The
and so I said, and I said, "Okay, fine. The professional lady of leisure in Pretty Woman.
The woman selling her body for sex."
Now, it was some number of hours later, and my then girlfriend at the time said to me, came up to me and said, "Professional lady of leisure? Like, you said that to my mom?" And I was like, but she objected to whore, and apparently you can't make that woman happy.
What terminology would she have preferred? Did you ask that question? I need to know.
Right?
Just go out and say hole instead. Just you know.
Oh yeah, that would have went over well. She played the hole in Pretty Woman. That would have just been fucking great.
Just sabotage it completely right from the get-go. You know, like, you do it. Oh, see, Eve loves my nails, Polly. I did them just now while we were streaming. Eve.
Is that full black or like a really dark purple? Or?
Oh, it's actually really dark, sparkly red. You see that?
Oh, okay. Yeah, now I do.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I like the off dark colors a lot. I also really like the pale bright colors too. It really depends on how I'm feeling. Woman of ill repute, Daniel Fulman suggests.
That's a damn good one.
I don't know if it's specific enough, because woman of ill repute can mean a number of things. It can mean, you know, she's not just a whore. She had a child out of wedlock. It could mean, you know, she takes it up the butt, or it could mean, you know, like I said, a whole host of things. We don't know.
Got elected in New York's 14th electoral district for
there you go.
Reasons. You know,
be a cousin kisser for all you know.
The term is working woman. I don't think it is. I really don't think it is.
Hang on. Because that term technically, by like exact definition, could be applied to every woman that works.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think that's a good idea to go calling a woman who supported herself like ever since she was like moved out of her parents' house, and it's like, I'm no one's housewife. I'm a working woman. Did she just call herself a prostitute? I don't think she did. That's all I'm saying.
Nah. Holes, whores, women. What's the difference? You're right. They're all the same.
So we got 5 minutes until end time. Is that right?
5 minutes until end time, and then Weebo turns into a pumpkin.
Yeah. So just noticing that, it might be a good time to suggest that anybody who wants to ask a question could do it now. Now would be a good time.
Yeah.
Just in case you are so interested.
Eve says we're overthinking it, Polly, but I think we're thinking it just the right amount, considering it's the two of us.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, have you met Polly and myself?
It's not overthought. It's just the right amount.
Not by our standards, by any stretch of the imagination. It's a good time.
There's some holes in this.
Hey,
I
Paul,
can't.
you want to do a cover of WAP?
I can't fucking believe they were dancing around to it. It's like, no,
We
it's
can
like
make it.
I would love to hear the explanation. Cardi B's like dead ass. What we's doing is like reclaiming the word and shit. Like it. Remember, she said she was going to run for office because she dead ass had some good ideas.
Dead ass or dead ass. Which one was it?
Dead ass.
Ah, gotcha. But no, seriously, we should make a wholesome edit of WAP, Polly.
Really?
Yeah.
Be like one
Have
of
it out by Christmas.
Speaking of Christmas, it'll be like those cheesy ass politically correct versions of Christmas songs that they think are problematic.
I vote we do it as a 51 majority holder of votes.
You're the 51 majority holder?
Yeah.
I don't know why that is. That doesn't seem to make much sense.
Don't worry about it. Just go with it. Polly, what's your favorite color? Quinn the cultist wants to know.
Black, but that's technically not a color. So royal purple, deep purple.
Nice, deep purple. I appreciate that.
You know what's funny?
Men,
would
willingly admit to that. Not many men would willingly admit to deep purple as like a favorite color. But I respect. Why? I don't know, because people, guys specifically, as I understand it, seem to think that purple is a womanly color, I guess.
No, it's the color of royalty, if
anything. Thank you. It's someone who has studied their history. You know.
And not just royalty, it's like
riches.
Like Roman consuls would wear the sash of purple. And one of the things, supposedly, according to Suetonius, that got Julius Caesar stabbed up, or convinced all of the other senators that he was a tyrant, is that he started wearing a toga of entirely purple, that he was that far gone with himself, not just a sash, but nothing.
Romans are an interesting topic of conversation because they take shit way too seriously, but like it's fascinating. We should have like an entire stream just talking about them.
Talking about them who?
Them Romans.
Oh, yeah.
Them Roman boys.
Here, look at this. You said, how do I know Ethan Ralph has a gun? Look at that.
I've seen it. No, I've seen this picture. This is an old picture.
Oh, it is. Like, but look. Oh my God.
He zoomed in specifically on the gun.
Oh my God.
No. Hang on. How do we know that he hasn't just hidden some sleeves of salami under his shirt?
I mean, it's like, oh my God. Like, dude, for the sake of your heart. Like, he doesn't have enough chins to justify this.
I know, right? There's got to be something more going on there.
Whew. Anyway.
Okay. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, to show that to you. Daniel Fullman asks me how the new job goes. It goes well. I'm in training, so it's relatively simple, but it can be trying at times.
I love it. My eyes. Why, Polly? Why? Thanks for the nightmare fuel. Sorry, chat.
Quinn the Cultist sent a super sticker. Thank you. Much appreciated. I don't know which one it is because I don't get to see it. Oh, it's the throw up emoji.
That's
this is what I see.
The super sticker? That's lame.
Unless I go specifically to the stream and look at what it is you guys sent me. Which is fine. Within massive inconvenience, but it's fine. Yeah.
Weebo, you know what you could do if you were really committed? You could create another account, call it like Weebo Jones Live or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Your Streamlabs is now attached to that Weebo Live account. You bring that person into chat with us, like that account into chat with us. And whenever anybody sends in a Streamlabs, you can now capture that because you've got their screen shared, right? And it will show whatever
Mhm.
animation that you want to come up. You know, when people will donate, like on Noir Bar, you get all sorts of like sexy ladies and noir get-ups and so on. You know, on Comic Book Curation, when I remember to turn the Noir Bar notifications off, you get all the comic book versions of it, like Spider-Man kicking the jihadi in the ass and so forth. You know, you could do that. You could have that here. You could.
We'll see. We will see. I was thinking about bringing back the classic Weebo live, graphics and nonsense, but that I have to have the time to put that all together, and then apparently, the actual Wi-Fi capacity to handle the OBS shenanigans if I really wanted to. So
Yeah, I mean, and Chaos says, Cassie says, or you could just use OBS. Yeah, absolutely. There's just, but Weebo's bought StreamYards, man. She's full on pro StreamYards.
yeah, and it's nice for like simple streams like this. I do enjoy the simplicity of what we do here because I don't have to do much in terms of preparation because everything's already prepped, and I just have to gear up a stream. It's nice. OBS though, I think if I were to do one, it would definitely be the soonest I could think of doing an actual stream that was a big deal would be the Christmas variety show, which I still haven't committed to yet. I don't know if we're gonna do it, but I'm thinking about it.
Everyone does like talent show shit, like a Christmas variety stream.
Yeah.
I like this idea.
It's a Christmas charity variety show.
Oh, this was the charity.
The
Okay,
veterans stream.
Now
Yeah.
I fully remember. Yeah, absolutely. No, that's a great idea. Alpha Omega asks, is there any chance of a Noir Bar this week? There's an excellent chance of a Noir Bar this week.
Mm-hmm. Last two questions, and then I think I'm gonna cut it because we're already over time. But Daniel Pullman asks, how dressy is your new job? Did you need to get new clothes? I did, and I still do. I don't have nearly enough dressy pants for this job to last me a whole week, so I'm gonna have to rectify that, go back to Ann Taylor and get myself some petite clothes that stretch because I'm chunky. And then Daniel Pullman also asks, have you been practicing the violin? Yes, I busted it out last week. I do need to get a better bow though because I can't use a cello bow. I just cannot. It doesn't work the same. So I'm gonna beg my brother to return my bow to myself, or at least pay me so that I can buy a new one. Because, like I said, I am trying to save up cash, money, for a house at some point.
Weebo, clocking mad stacks.
Yeet. Anyway, so, guys, with that, we are going to close out the show. Thank you so much for joining myself and Polly on this wonderful journey of who the fuck knows whatever. It went several places, and I loved them all dearly, except for the Gunt. That was an exception. Polly, why? Polly, thank you for joining me as well. I always enjoy your company. It's such a great time.
Well, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
You're all right, I guess.
Oh, thanks. Mm-hmm. Because I paint my nails when you talk. No, you're just enjoyable company. Excuse me.
Well, I've known some people that would disagree with you, but they're morons. So what the hell do they know? Yes, and to riff off of what Weebo said, thank you everybody for coming. Thank you for all of you listening in the future. Mm-hmm. And by all means, leave comments. I keep thinking to pop by and see if anybody has any comments, because I tell Jack and Quiz to come by Comic Book Curation because there's lots of people that direct questions particularly to them, and Quiz does come by to do that from time to time. And I've thought about doing it over here, but then I did a few times and it was people saying like fuck off, Polly, and I was like, oh shit, okay.
Rough.
But yeah, and I was gonna write no, fuck you, man, but I didn't want to start a beef in Weebo's comment section, so
I don't mind. It gives me something to laugh at.
In any case, thank you very much to everybody who donated. It's greatly appreciated, especially right now.
Oh, yeah. Thank you to everyone who liked, who commented, who shared, who subscribed, who subscribed to Polly, donated to Polly. We do appreciate every single penny you guys give to us. You guys bring the show. You help fund the nonsense. So pat yourselves on the back. You did good, son. And we will be back here at the normal time.
Will we, though?
Let me double check. Okay, I'm sorry. Yes, we will be back here at the normal time Saturday. It's August 22nd, right? Yes.
Is it?
Okay, I'm looking at it.
Okay.
I'm looking at it. It is August 22nd at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. I promise I won't change it on you. Fingers crossed.
All right.
Anyway, thank you so much, Polly, for joining me. And
thank you for having me.
Good night, everybody.
Have a good night, everyone. Thank you for the donations again. You guys rock.
Peace. Bye.